All right. Hello. Everybody's already started without me, so hiya, hiya. Hey, Daniel. Hey, Martha. There's another person in here. Hey, Joshua. Let me see if I can get the chat to work without it getting weird on me. There we go. Move it over. Everybody's doing well tonight. Here's the page from last week that we finished up. Yeah, we spent a lot of time coloring this in. I'm just going to do flats on the remaining portions, so that's why this looks a little bit simpler. I have to go back and do this coloring, but I just wanted to do that coloring for that one. Hope everybody's having a good night. Updates. The book is lettered. We've lettered the whole thing. I have one last little text page to finish, and then the Ashcan edition will be done, and I'll get those printed. I was hoping to get one printed tomorrow, but it might have to wait until Friday. But once that's printed, I'll post a picture online so people can see it, and I'll do an update over on the Kickstarter page. Yeah, so we're going to keep working on flats. We've got page 46 here, which is where Undersea Hero is finishing up his conversation here with Radio Bear, and Krill Force is finally unleashed. And the next page I can show you is like the big reveal. Page is at 47. Open page 47 so you can see it. It's probably the page that most people saw and were excited about when it got shown. This is the one with all of the Krill Force, the world record page, as I call it. I always wondered what Radio Bear sounds like. What if you took a picture of each frame and make a slideshow frame and put sound of each frame? I was actually considering something like that. We considered doing a reading, and I was thinking about having a friend of mine do Radio Bear. And it's just it's just bear noises, like however you interpret bear noises. If it's like ar 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 ar, or growling, or the classic roar. Hey Jeff, good to see you. Hope things are good. Let's just grab our Radio Bear color here. And let's just get back to work. What's everybody working on tonight? Make sure we grab our flats. I'm going to do the mountain first since that's behind. Need a mountain color. There we go. Grab that color. Do I want to define that edge right now? Yeah, I think that's all. Oops. Pencil. Yeah, they are. The noises Radio Bear makes are generally unintelligible, and that's what confuses everyone around Undersea Hero. Like, can they really understand what this bear is saying? Does he actually know? And we don't know. We don't know if he knows what he's saying. But the noises or what he is saying gives Undersea Hero the courage he needs to go forth into battle. So we are very close to Ashcan Edition being done, which I can't. This I basically put my life on hold to like do all this work because I was falling behind a little bit, and getting this book done and getting it to people will be a huge relief for me. So. Yeah, I'm sorry. I got hung up this week. I will get it packed up and get it out. I will send you the tracking info once I have it. For the uh, John Carter piece. But I will get it in the mail. Sorry about that. Yeah, I had to find a mailer, which I have now. I have a cardboard mailer right next to my desk. So it's funny. I have to order like a giant pile of those for the Kickstarter, and I couldn't find one around the house for years. I was getting them from like just buying comics off of eBay or whatnot, but I just haven't had any. I haven't bought any comics lately. What's up, Jonathan? Good to see you, man. Your books made it safely back to my abode, so whenever we can link up and I can hand off your Perhapanauts Kickstarter and your Warlock sketch, I will hand that off to you. We might as well just define all these edges and get it over with, right? That's generally what flatting is. It's defining these spaces, these edges and everything. The little shrimp guy's ship, it's just like the main ship. It's just yellow, 100% yellow. And like I've said, if you don't know for sure, just guess. And as long as the flats are done with hard edges with like a pencil tool, I can change the colors just instantly with the paint bucket tool. Cool, man. I hope you had an okay time with your fam. They had to take a mold of one of my teeth because they are giving me a crown. And that's the last of like my dental work that I need done. So that's exciting. So that will be finished, and then it'll just be up to me to continue to brush and floss and all that good stuff, and then show up for regular cleanings. Here's the break. But it's all good, man. Yeah, life has been hectic. From what you've told me, I 1,000% believe you. I don't have any with me. Actually, I do. I'll show it off at the end. The coloring books that I did for the Steamship Authority went out on the boats this week. So if you're riding on any of the ferry boats to any of the Cape Cod islands, you can get a free coloring book that I drew. It comes with crayons and a little button. So, yeah, it's meant for kids, but it's the Future Ferry Captain program there that we've developed over the last year or so, and I'm pretty proud of the work we've done. We're going to do more stuff with that, or at least that's the plan. We're going to add some comics to the website. We're going to do some cool stuff. So, for when you're in the middle of the ocean and you have no cell reception or your battery dies, you can have some entertainment. Yeah, if they, I was waiting for the steamship to, share a picture or a photo or something, and they might do that tomorrow. So that's why I haven't like tweeted out pictures yet or anything. I give them the first pop. Yeah, I didn't even have time to. If you saw my sad little announcement today that this was happening, I didn't even have time to do a sketch during the day today. So The only sketching I did was for like layouts for typographical treatments and things like that, and that I don't think anybody wants to see that. Yeah, I'll take a look before you go. Keep spending a ton of time on it. I will check. I can't check it tonight, but I will check it tomorrow. Yeah, I've got to finish that one page, and I'm going to try to finish that one text page after this, just so that I can order the first editorial copy of the Ashcan edition from Staples before I go to bed. I would like to be able to do that. I don't know if I will, but we'll try. I haven't felt great today. Had some stomach issues. That's right, Jonathan. How did we ever take the 2-hour boat ride for the first 18 years of my life without a cell phone? We brought coloring books, or we had comics, or we. There is a TV on board, and there always was, and they would always, if there was a Red Sox game or whatever on, they would have. Correlator shrimp guy. I mean, he argues with the correlator. I'd have to look at it. I'm sorry. My brain's a little fried from today. Excuse me. I don't even know why I put my headphones on anymore, because we don't do music or anything. I wish we could. I wish I had like a royalty-free music thing I could play or whatever, so that we have something. I didn't know I'd ever be coloring on my stream, but here we are. You get to see some of the nitty gritty of this process. I didn't do any of the lettering on the stream just so that I could not give away everything. If the guy has the long ponytail, then yes, he's the correlator, or the shell piece, the part of the design that makes people uncomfortable. It definitely does not have to be EDM. No. I would take cheesy stock music from like an on hold phone, like the girl from Ipanema or something. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I could do that. I could do that for sure. If we could get some like pseudo '90s electronic lounge music, like an elevator. Yeah, exactly. It's from a downed airplane. We showed that on the last page. The old microphone. Good to see you, Patrick. Actually, I need to go back here and grab the colors. I think I just left it gray, the green for his headphones. See, once you get a few of the shapes done, it's really easy to use the selection tool for this method. and you use the paint bucket tool. It tends to fly along pretty quick once you get going. Yeah, there aren't that many humans in the book, so it's probably the correlator. This issue is like the giant size that we did on Kickstarter, and it's three full issues. So this one book has 3 issues in it, and then I, you know, have aspirations of doing more. Let's say. C2, C3. But this was the inaugural story and launch of it. And it's taken me quite a while to get it done. So the ash cans will get done first, and then as we're coloring, we'll get the. Yes, that is. Professor Prawn is the shrimp guy. Yeah, he hits the launch button for his krill force to be unleashed. Yes. I'm going to close 44 for now because I keep accidentally going to it. That one. Oh no, it's okay. These are not these are not known characters, so I wouldn't expect anybody to know their names. I've just known them for a long time since I was in college, since 2007. These have been percolating. 2006, somewhere in there. I did in issue 0. I published a piece that I did while I was in school. That was an art project for a drawing class in college, and it was the first finished drawing of Undersea Hero. So this is an old concept I've been sitting on and wanting to do for a very long time. Excuse me. much, Michael, with his intro that we always share. So everyone, I hope everyone watching on the stream are doing well. If not, make things get better for you. It's always a great sentiment, Michael. I always appreciate it. Oh, nice. Yeah, I use some surf style lettering in the book. Yeah, absolutely. I've got the flower print from like an Aloha shirt in there too. Vintage, not the new stuff. I like a good Aloha shirt. I actually have and kept a couple of the shirts from my grandfather on my mother's side from when they went to Hawaii in the I want to say the early 80s, early 1980s. Yeah, today my stomach has not been great. I had a dentist appointment last night, like I said, and I think that whatever it is they use to numb my teeth gave me a migraine, and just the rest of the day was not great. These are just generic plants. I didn't use any reference because, like, honestly, I didn't feel like specificity would give it any additional context because it's not something I'm expecting people to dwell on in the background of a talking bear. I like the flower prints. They're great. Yeah, I wear them. Love those old shirts. Oh, we gotta get the rest of the wire. Missed a spot. Like I said, on these I'm just doing flats. Like if for some reason we get ahead and we finish the flats for this in the next page, we'll go back and do some coloring like we were doing last time. I grabbed a reference page. So I can grab the colors from here real quick. Save me some time. It's like anything else when I'm doing a different step in the process of working on a comic. If I have a little bit of leeway, I can usually become just more efficient and quicker. Oh yeah, the Sword and Sorcery project. I have not had time to do anything for that yet. I've just been working on Undersea Hero. I've actually, it's one of the things I would like to help out very much so. I just need to prioritize finishing this over basically everything else in my life. I need this thing done and dusted so that we can get on to the next project. And I've done a little research for one of the projects that I have had in my brain for some time. So it's not anything that takes away from time from this, but it's just like when I'm, waiting for food to be finished at the restaurant that I'm picking it up at, I'll look on my phone at some stuff. I guess research is probably too formal of a term. A little background work, I guess. It's probably more apropos. Yeah, I could see all those things in Undersea Hero, Patrick. Undersea Hero would save everybody, and then Lord Krakus would probably be hmm, trying to use one of those or more than one of those to his advantage somehow, as far as a caper of some kind, a heist of some sort. It's one of those things like when I'm reading a comic, I don't necessarily think of, oh, how long did he spend coloring this part? Or she, obviously. How long did they spend coloring this part? This little walkie-talkie. Too long, said Ian. Oh, like I said, long day. And in this panel, Undersea Hero has just been finished being told stuff by Radio Bear, and he's saying something along the lines of, "Yes, of course. It's so simple." That's absolutely a perfectly normal thing to do. I do it all the time. I think about different stories, and what I've begun doing, and it's been really helpful for me, is if I'm particularly interested in an idea, I'll flesh out like just a rough idea or a rough estimate of what it is. What happened to the green? Why did that disappear? Okay, then we'll go back and fix it. It's okay. Um, is I'll just sort of like flesh it out, like do an outline or something, and some sketches and drawings, and try to get out of my system. And then I have these giant Ziploc bags. They're like bigger than a sheet of paper, and I'll put it in there, and then I'll come back to it when I have time, or maybe I won't. I've got all kinds of stuff, and then sometimes like an opportunity will come up, like, hey, we have an anthology. Do you have any like short stories lying around that you can finish off pretty quickly? And I've got a whole drawer full. Or if somebody approaches me like, do you have any story ideas for this book or whatever? And sometimes something from that is appropriate. Patrick, I have Joe Conte that Ukraine stealing secret plans of Russian sub felt like an episode of Andor. I'll have to take your word for it. I've never seen Andor. I don't have Disney Plus, actually. I know people have mixed feelings on the shows and stuff. There's only a handful of things I think on there that I would watch. I definitely watch the reruns of the old Simpsons. And then, believe it or not, I liked the She-Hulk comics as a kid, so I would have watched that show. And then I don't remember all the other shows that are on there that I haven't seen. So there are a few things here and there that I would watch if I had it. It's just expensive. Yep, and envelope system, Ziploc bag, same thing, same idea. Just so you have it, and like you might pull it out a year from now and be like, oh man, that was a dumb idea, and throw it away. I've done that. Or it might re-inspire you. I mean, sometimes when I need an idea just for a sketch, I'll pull out those envelopes and flip through and see like, oh, this scene would be really cool for this, or Actually, I'm going to change the color. What's going on in the background here? Color's a great way to give, subtext to a scene. So like it's really good for, giving emotive colors. So I really think magenta is an oft overlooked color. Michael Golden in his color palette used a fair amount of magenta because he knows that when you printed it, especially in the old 4-color press system, before it was all digital for the most part, that you only had 4 colors that printed flat. You had cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. And there was usually a lot of yellow and a lot of cyan out there. Magenta on a cover usually would just explode off of a comic book shelf next to all sorts of other brightly colored things. So. Next one. Yeah. Really helps to establish mood. So. Oh, they've got National Geographic. Yeah, that would be interesting. I know that this is like a nerd faux pas, but I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan. Like, it's okay. I'm just not like it would. New Star Wars, like I'll go see it in the theater when it's the summer movie or whatever. But like I'm not a ravenous Star Wars fan. So like part of like for me seeing Star Wars is going to a theater. So like that was part of the experience. I think I grabbed the wrong color. That's all right. It's easy to fix. Well, I did hear that they're going to be folding all of Hulu into Disney Plus, so there will no longer be separate Hulu accounts. And I do have Hulu because I like the show The Bear. I like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Um, there's a handful of shows on there that we watch. But in the Star Wars world, I'm actually more of a Star Trek guy. I always have been. That sounds crazy, Patrick. A person who climbed El Capitan in Yellowstone with just powder on his bare hands. It sounds a little nuts to me. As a person who does not climb rocks for any purpose. I think the closest I came to anything like that was climbing the ropes in gym class in school. We had to climb a rope in gym class. I remember that. Which was easier than I thought it would be. Did I ever see the Native American beadwork with Baby Yoda? No, I didn't see that. No, I did go to the Wampanoag powwow this summer, which was very cool, and I did see some cool beadwork that was like pop culture stuff there. Like there was like a Deadpool bead. I saw like some cool stuff there. It was pretty rad. And when this is colored, it'll make more sense. I promise. I know it looks weird now, but that powwow was over in Mashpee. It was a lot of fun. We went and saw some cool artwork, saw the dancing, had some food. Yeah, it was very cool. It was very cool. I used to, when I was a little kid, I lived in Connecticut, and we lived near the uh, Pequot Reservation, and we would go to the different events there. When I was a kid, our neighbors were indigenous folks. So. Yeah, no, and it's a good time. It was I would recommend checking it out if you're ever in Massachusetts. Yeah. It was very fun, Jonathan. I would recommend. Yeah, we were there the first day, so we got to see like the grand procession and the announcement of all the different dance competition folks. Um, it was very cool. Yeah, I actually bought a poster from one of the artists and had them sign it for me. It's this really cool painting of an indigenous person fishing. I was like, that's cool. And my wife bought some of the shell, the wampum earrings. And there we go. There's another page of flats. Save or copy. JPEG. Yes. All right. Now we'll get to work on this one. This one's a little tougher. So that's a little bit of a challenge. And I don't remember all of the colors needed for it, so we might have to go back over here. Any of the spongemen here? There are sponge. Okay. Oops, these are the spongemen, and on top of their heads are these little sea sponge guys, and they mind control the henchmen that are underneath. And one of the gags that goes throughout is that like you can see his his hands mimic what his hands are doing, so they all kind of pantomime. So like as we go throughout, if you only see one of them moving, this is what this guy's hands are doing. Like in his hands, you can't see the other guy will be doing that. So like they all, throughout the whole book, they all mimic what each of them do. So this is in the inside the correlator ship, so we actually have to make most of this page darker. So we'll start with just a dark color. Get ourselves a lasso tool. One of the good things about this technique of artwork is you can see there's a roughness around it. Like you can see pencil lines, you can see rough edges. Is that when I drop in the 4-color process on top of it, it honestly makes it look better. Like the fact that it's not super clean. When it's too clean, I don't think it looks as good. But everybody's got different opinions, and your mileage may vary, but I think that it's better when it has more organic, chaotic energy. Like the not straight edges on the panels is partly decided because of how I was going to color this. Something like that, this right here, this type of mark making, I probably wouldn't do on something I was coloring for something like the Tick. It's supposed to look super slick, or at least as slick as I can deliver. I was never the most slick artist or cleanest artist. And I actually think I'm going to get a little messier with this next project. So we'll see how things develop. Right now we're just doing a selection, and this is a fairly complex selection. I'm using the Shift and Alt keys to either add or subtract to the selection as I need it. It's the Alt key. And then here we'll use the Shift key to add to it. Okay, and then we use Control-Shift-I to select the inverse, and then boom, boom, boom. And there's all of our gutters are cleared out. Okay. Sometimes drawing lines go outside the panel border. Does there need to be blue under them, or do I just erase along the panel border and ignore them? If it's outside the border, you can just ignore it. What's underneath it, that's fine. Yeah. If it's inside the panel, there's got to be stuff under it. But if it's outside, don't sweat it. I gotta grab. Right now, we'll just block out. I actually think we'll carve out the background first. So let's go over here, grab this color, lighter neutral gray. Close that one. And this is the henchman's like lunchroom area. And like part of what makes it funny is that it's between the fuel tanks, like in the worst part of the ship. So like I'm kind of making fun of a situation I used to be in where there really wasn't a lunchroom, and there was like buzzing lights and nothing worked. Everything was disgusting, and the owners didn't really care. So it just wound up being like just a horrible place to be. So I never used it after a certain point. There's a movie called Joe versus the Volcano. I don't know if anybody's seen it. It's an old Tom Hanks movie, but in the beginning, when you see him going to work and he's like underneath the buzzing lights that he thinks are giving him cancer and killing him, that's not far off from an office I used to work in. Colonel Feathers, he has white paint under his lines on his stomach. I can't tell from here, so just do your best guess. Like I'm sure it'll be fine, and I can fix it if need be. So don't sweat it. It doesn't need to be perfect. Really, just defining. Like I said, we're just defining these edges. That's the most important thing about this flat laying process is that I can go in with a paint bucket tool or with the magic wand and grab any section that I need to and um, make sweeping adjustments very quickly with little effort. Because I'll be building on top of all of these pages another 3 layers of color. So yeah, the beginning of that movie when he is working in a terrible office with the buzzing lights and the coffee machine and everything that doesn't work. That movie was free on Tubi for a while, so I don't know if it's still there, but I watched it, I don't know, less than a year ago, and it was far better than I remembered it being. I enjoyed the heck out of it. And it is a weirder movie than you remember. And there's some beautiful cinematography. The shots outside his office with the car and stuff were just amazing, wide, long shots. So. I tend to work from big to small shapes, just because I find that is a easy way for me to not get myself confused. I can easily confuse myself. When I was first learning digital coloring, I was not keeping the layers and everything organized enough, and I was not doing it in a linear or well thought out manner, and that would cause the colors to be inconsistent for sure. Oh, I missed a spot of light. Not bad. Good thing about the color history is that if there's something that you just used, it'll be right there. Do we have a brown color? Yeah, we do. We got one right here. I don't know if we'll get to any like coloring, but if we could finish these 3 pages of flats tonight, I would be very happy with that. I've actually been rewatching Star Trek: The Next Generation with my wife, who has not seen it. So that's fun, getting her reaction to things. She liked DS9 a lot, and we watched Discovery together because I got Paramount Plus as a Christmas present. So we were watching. We've been using that. Share. Let's see if we can grab. See if that should work. If we can clear out all of the other kitchen implements and separate them from the characters and the text here. That would be good. Oh yeah, I agree, Jonathan. And season 2, the hard part is since Crusher isn't in season 2, you don't get to expound on that relationship. But it lays the groundwork for stuff. The show gets exponentially better. Like season 3 on, like it's just, I think it's as good of a sci-fi show as has been on TV. I will say the special effects hold up really well. Like that was something I was happy to see. The counselor lady got on your nerves. Deanna Troy. Deanna Troy, actually, in my old life, when I worked for the comic convention company, we had a very nice gentleman who was a big fan of Star Trek who worked there, and I won't name any names, but he had handled some of the accommodations for some of the guests, and Deanna Troy was genuinely his favorite Star Trek character, and the actress Marina Sirtis really upset him. It was very sad. He just felt awful, like he had let down his favorite actress, character, person. So I don't remember all the particulars of the interaction, so I don't have any of those details, but it had to do with accommodations because that was what he did. So I don't know if wires got crossed or a reservation got missed or something, but it was not. It's not a pleasant day for my friend. Oh, you use the Pluto channel. Nice. Yes. For some reason, when I use Pluto, it gets a little buggy on me. It might be my internet connection or something, but yep, there was that one episode where it's a lady-dominated race. We saw that one not too long ago. I love all the Q episodes. We had the kind of like first Worf solo episode recently, and that was cool because Camille had watched DS9, and so she'd seen like the latter stages of Worf. Just kind of getting the background now. So are you more of a Pluto guy, Jonathan? I'm the Tubi guy. Like I watch Tubi. I think it's as good a free platform as there is, and it runs real smooth. And they get all the like cult old stuff and like Hong Kong movies and like terrible old sci-fi movies. That's right. Yeah, the Gowron episodes. The Klingon stuff was great in Next Generation. I don't remember fully what happened because I know that at a certain point, Geordi switches to be like the chief of engineering. But in this, like we just saw the one where he's like, on the battle bridge running the show. So I don't remember. Don't remember what happens if he chooses to go or if he just shows up in the what you call it, the engineering just randomly. I don't remember. Like it's just beginning of a season he's in engineering instead of on the bridge. Kind of is like the person who was picked to lead when Riker's not around. You see it like leaks down from here. Color choice for storytelling, and it's not going to be the color fuel because fuel is like transparent. So like, what we'll do is we'll pick like a bright green or something, so that we want people to see that the fuel is dripping down and it's going behind everything that's here. Like that's an important storytelling beat that comes back later on and is really important for one of my better jokes in the book. So everybody on the stream will be like, "Oh, there's a little fuel leak going behind the refrigerator," and then what's over here? You see the microwave. That's what it's heading towards. Some of these colors I don't know. I'm just making it up based on the color palette that I chose for that particular ship and the bad guys. Oh, that's nice that it's part of the Roku TV. Yeah, it's the app I had issues with. Yeah, the like standalone app. Yeah, if it's already like in your cable listings, then yeah, that's awesome. They have a universal. Oh, they have a. See, you're singing my tune now. There's a Hammer horror channel. Love those old Hammer movies. See, that looks like the same purple. I thought I grabbed the darker one. Maybe I'll grab this one. See if this is anything different. There we go. Yeah, we just want them to be different than. All right, I need to grab another gray color, I think, for the sink. Grab this one. This is like one of those cheap refrigerators that I had in college. So we'll just make it like silver on the front there, but then it's like plastic behind it. So it's like a two-tone refrigerator. Ah, I gotta define that too. Yeah, the Hammer horror. Like if you're a fan of like genre fiction and you haven't checked those out, even if you're not a big horror person, I think that they're really entertaining flicks. So like, I would recommend people check those out. Oh, that's fine. Yeah. As long as you're getting a singular color and you use it for like the whole time, it should be fine. As far as I could tell. I am sleepy. I had junk food for dinner. I had a hamburger and French fries. Excuse me. So hopefully when you're zoomed out and you see all this darkness, but you still see this, like as you're reading, the idea is there's a speech balloon here, he's talking, and you're going to look down, you'll see these beeps. And then when you read from left to right, this beep, that there's this green here, and this green here, and this yellow here that matches the beep. And I'm hoping makes people notice this without having to make it too obvious. Oh no, Camille wasn't on last week. It was just me. All right, let me select these. The brightest orange we got. I don't know if we're going to even finish these pages tonight. I'm just getting tired. I actually had to differentiate the sponges between these two characters because there's a point where you see one of the sponges by itself, and I want you to know which character it is. So that's why this sponge has a mustache. And yes, they always have kind of a dumb look on their face. The Spongemen were oh, right. Yeah. Designed not just for cheap laughs, but also as like the easiest cosplay, where all you'd need to do to be a Spongeman is get like a big piece of foam and put two like what do you call it? Ping pong balls with marker dots on them, and you just put it on your head, and then you're a Spongeman. Like it's the easiest cosplay that there is, I think, in all of Undersea Hero. And if you know anything about even just snorkeling equipment, you know that like the cheapest masks ever, the ones where the nose isn't fully covered, it's like goes over your nose like a pair of goggles. So that's what we gave here to our henchman from our very uh, cheap boss, the correlator. This one's a little too messy. I might go in and clean this up when we come back around to color. There's a little more pencil in here that I like. But I can go in and clean that up with what's called the camera raw filter. I don't remember what color their belts are. Let's make it yellow for now. No, we don't want it to be yellow. You got like a brown color. Even more boring, just a generic brown belt. Even though I'm wearing one right now. Maybe it's because I'm wearing one right now. What color are their masks? I think they're gray. Yeah. That's another thing I would recommend. If you've never been snorkeling, it's a lot of fun. If you like looking at sea creatures and whatnot under the sea. And again, just another thing that probably like a handful of people will remember is that the old cheap snorkels that you used to get at like tourist traps had like this electric red orange top, not too far from this color, like that. It's the little details that, like, if you're a person who likes undersea stuff, you know, there's even little notes throughout it. So, like, when there's an undersea fact, I pointed out that I think is neat. So, Just cleaning up some edges. Yeah. Let's see the henchmen in their sad lunchroom. Maybe those tanks need to be brighter. I forgot both tanks had a fuel leak. There we go. And this is just your classic establishing shot. It establishes the floor. There's a grid. You can see the sense of place. It's just a classic way to open a scene in comics. So like you pull back a little bit, you show the environment, you use the environment in your storytelling a little bit, and you try to make it a believable place. Right there. Is that it? No, that's not it. What's the problem here? Just back there. There's the other studio at the top. Because I'm a dummy. There's that one. You've been snorkeling in a river. Wow. It must have been chilly. The moving water is pretty cold. I'm getting tired. We're going to hang it up after this panel here. All right, well, I think that's as far as we're getting tonight. We did this page and we did the other page. Which one did we do? 46? Yep, we did 46, we did 44, and we did 45 last week. So just a little bit to go on 44. I'll have that done tomorrow along with that text page so that we'll have the first draft of the Ashcan edition done. Once that's done and I get a picture of it, I'll put out another, Kickstarter update. So keep an eye out for that. And thanks everybody for coming to hang out. I hope everyone has a good weekend, and I hope to see you all next week. All right, thanks everybody. Have a good night.